Listen, you're not gonna find anything on me, okay? Trust me.
Empty your pockets into the tray, sir, or we'll have to. Your pockets, sir?
Lady, the problem isn't in my pants.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes, and it's time to talk about all the wonderful mutant happenings in Marvel. It's time for This Week in X-Men. Not a ton going on in X-Men. We did have a new issue of X-Force. We had the big, I guess, the conclusion of the death of Kate Pryde in Marauders, and we also have, I guess we'll call it X-Men adjacent. We've got the Phoenix Force entering into the Avengers in a December event series coming up. And here to talk with me about this is the X-Men aficionado, the Marvel historian. Maybe I got that backwards. Doc, how you doing?
I'm golden, man. I'm golden.
Well, I'm glad you could make it. I do want to say this before we get started. If you're just visiting or if you've been coming around but haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? It's time to subscribe to Thinking Critical YouTube. Ring the bell for notifications. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Give us an enormous thumbs down and let us know why in the comment section below if you didn't. And even if you did, let us know that too, because we definitely enjoy the feedback. All right, Doc. So we had a couple of weeks of not very good X-Men. Things started to turn around last week with Phantom X, the giant size X-Men, the first one that was actually good. This week, it feels like it kind of kept going, at least with X-Force, although Joshua Cassara was off of art. So I think the art kind of went down a little bit. But otherwise, it's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a pretty kind of straightforward, mutant X-Men. Weird crap happens to them kind of issue. And now I didn't really have any objections to the art. I don't mind Eric
Bazaldua.
Is that how you pronounce it? I can never. I'm like the guy that's not Ebas.
No, he's fine. I really like Joshua Cassara on X-Force.
Cassara really fits the tone of that book really well. But this one, Eric was trying to kind of ape his style a little bit. So it had a little bit more of that vibe instead of the clean look that he's more known for. It was still a slight steps down. But overall, the story was actually really good. With these foreign agents attacking Krakoa, that's kind of a theme of the X-Force title.
Okay, so were they attacking Krakoa, or are these the Russians that Wolverine and the X-Force grabbed in that last issue of Wolverine? They brought him back, and it turns out that they were sabotaged because it turns out they weren't alone. They got Russian nesting doll mutants inside of them.
Yeah, no, I guess they weren't really attacking, but they are.
They were infiltrated.
Yeah, they are the opposition in this title. But the way that they kind of went about it, where I don't know if they're mutants, but they're almost like one little, like the last cell of them inside starts feeding off all the dead cells and growing a new person inside the shell of the dead person. And that's kind of a cool theme. I'm assuming that they would probably grow. But
definitely a little bit of definitely got some alien vibes to them when they start popping out their chests. And it turns out there's a little dude with a knife waiting for you.
Well, yeah, except for he didn't really have a knife. He just stole Cecilia Reyes' scalpel.
Nah, I think they all had knives. If you watched them come out, they were all holding daggers.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that on the other ones. I noticed that they were coming out.
Themselves out, man.
Well, I figured they just kind of busted themselves out, all xenomorph style. But no, regardless, however they're coming out, I like that. It's like, okay, now how do you kill something like that?
Well, you keep killing it, but it just keeps reproducing. You get smaller and smaller versions.
And then you have evil sentient fleas trying to stab you all the time. God,
they're sabotaging the island and stealing Forge's stuff that he made, and they got little tiny bazookas and they're blowing people up.
Each one below it is a little smaller and a little smaller. That would how do you stop something like that until they get to almost atomic sized, and then they can blow up? I have no idea.
All right, Doc. I'm gonna admit something here. I was wrong.
Huh.
He stole her scalpel. Now that they're just punching through the chest. My bad.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought it was. Yeah, I thought they came out Xenomorph style, but seeing like this little skinny red muscly thing running around with a scalpel
looks like a devil.
Yeah, it looks like a little devil, and it's really freaking creepy, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, like really aggressive, but it feels like it's chaos. But you can see by some of the scenes that they're showing that it's not. It's organized. They're doing something specific. Of course, I think by the end they kind of figured out it was some type of sabotage. And this is my favorite scene because I don't like Kid Omega. I like him when he is interacting with Wolverine, and Wolverine's telling him to shut up because he's annoying. So he's got a date with one of the cuckoos, and he's like, she wants to go out with him again, and he's all happy. And he's looking, might as well be skipping. I expect him to jump up and click his heels or whatever.
Well, he does jump up and like, yes.
Yeah. He's all like, it's finally happening. And then as soon as that happens, one of those little red devil dudes stabs him right through the chest with the Cerebro sword. And he's like, I could never be happy. And he falls through the portal, and we see a character. It turns out it's Mikhail Rasputin, Colossus's brother.
Yes, it's Colossus's on again, off again, lost brother. Mikhail was he was a cosmonaut way back in the day, and he was like the last one of his of his mission. It's the third Rasputin. He's actually the older brother of Colossus and magic, but he can like twist reality and like substances, and like he can actually hop into other dimensions, which is kind of really cool. The original, like from the late 90s, early 2000s story of the 12, he was one of the central people in that. Like he was one of the 12 that Apocalypse was trying to, I don't know, do whatever Apocalypse was trying to do, make himself immortal or something. And this might be important because most of the characters that Apocalypse picked as his 12 back then are a lot of the ones that are considered the Omega level. They're looking for the 12 Omega level mutants right now. And they have like 9 or 10 of them. And Mikhail Rasputin may be, I don't
remember seeing him in the list, but I haven't looked at the list in well over a year now.
No, he was, I don't believe he was on that list. But he could work as a substitute for Franklin Richards because they have very, very similar powers. Dimension hopping and reality warping. Yeah.
There you go. He's got the Cerebro sword, which apparently is very important.
And is apparently a thing.
With the Ten of Swords. This is a path that Ten of Swords issues. Is there anything else you need to say about this one before we move on to Marauders?
I just want to know what the hell what the hell a Cerebro sword is. Why do you need a sword to find
That's
mutants?
The Cerebro that Charles was wearing when he was assassinated, and
yeah,
I
forgot about that. Yeah, okay. Yep, never mind. That makes sense.
All right, well, I can't believe you didn't remember that one. All right, moving on. So you read Marauders. I didn't. No interest in reading Marauders. The Kate Pryde murder mystery. We know who killed her, but what's going on? No interest in that whatsoever. How did it conclude? Were you happy with the conclusion of that, where Kate Pryde is resurrected?
It finally it answers in the most stupid way why Kitty, and I refuse to call her Kate. It's Kitty or Catherine. Kate is a middle-aged schoolmarm.
What was her original mutant name?
Sprite.
There you go. She can be called Sprite.
I'm going to call her Shadowcat.
There you go.
Because that was the best name she had. But she, it kind of answered why they weren't able to,
why can't she enter Krakoa, Doc? Explain.
Well, it turned,
but not long explain, because this isn't a good enough issue. Just wrap her up.
This explains why she couldn't get resurrected first, because she has to phase out of the cocoon. She can't break her way out like everybody else does. And she needed somebody to help her phase through by reminding her that she can phase. And I'm betting that that's going to be the same explanation for why she can't go through the stupid gates.
Well, that's
because
a really
she has
boring
to
answer to a big mystery.
Exactly. And if that ends up being the answer for the gates too, that is ridiculously stupid, and generic Duggan needs fired.
I'll never know, Doc. You know why?
Because you'll never read it.
I'll never read that bullshit.
And
I'm wasting my time or my money.
This is the only reason I even read this issue. I was done after the last issue, but when I saw, oh, well, you're getting at least resolution to the kitty thing, I was like, okay, well, I'll read this one. I grabbed it off the shelf. But no, it's off my pull list. Screw this.
All right, well, we're 1 for 1. I guess there's an Avengers X-Men out there as well. I'm not Avengers. Empire X-Men. I'm reading the mainline Empire book. It sucks enough that I wouldn't read anything ancillary to it. I don't believe you are as well, correct?
No, I'm reading nothing Empire related.
Well, there you go. So it's there's one good X-Men comic, one bad X-Men comic, and there's one mystery X-Men comic that we really can't tell you about, and I'm just not all that interested. Now, the last topic isn't really X-Men related per se. It's more of an Avengers title. In December, Avengers Enter the Phoenix is coming up. Jason Aaron is getting his hands on the Phoenix Force and bringing it into the Avengers storyline. I really wish they would have left this in the realm of the mutants.
This is going to harken back to Jason Aaron's stupid X-Men or Avengers 1 million BC. That's what it's going to connect to, with the Phoenix Force banging Odin in, 1 billion years ago or whatever the hell it was. No, this is stupid. The last time the Avengers got involved with Phoenix stuff was Brian Michael Bendis and his complete misunderstanding of the Phoenix Force. Out of that, we got Cyclops Hitler and more Wolverine, where Wolverine, for some inexplicable reason, decides to side with the Avengers over the X-Men. No, it was stupid. It was terrible. With Jason Aaron's track record of breaking every mythological pantheon or title that he ends up on, this is just another excuse for Jason Aaron to break something. I mean, it was already kind of broken, but no, he'll entirely destroy. It'll turn out to be, I don't know, some alien kid that played with matches 10 billion years ago, played with cosmic matches and lit himself on fire or some stupid shit like that.
I know Jason Aaron's interesting. A lot of people really enjoy the beginning part of his story run. When I say beginning, I mean like the first 3 or 4 or 5 years. They thought it was really good. I thought the beginning of his Avengers run was actually pretty good, and it just, it started to go downhill, and then when they hit the War of the Realms tie-ins, it just died. I'm not going back to that. Same thing happened with this Conan the Barbarian run for 3 or 4 issues, really good. 2 or 3 issues later, it's like, okay, this is just dying off, and I haven't gone back since. I don't think he can just really carry much anymore. He feels like he's an empty vessel when it comes to cool ideas or executing them.
I think he always was. He inexplicably broke Thor by the end of it. He broke the X-Men because he's the reason why we have Wolverine had 2 schools to begin with. No,
why is it that Marvel thinks he's a huge deal? Is it just because he did okay on Thor?
It's because he did okay on Thor for the first year or 3, and then, but the fact is it never translated to sales.
Well,
and then
Jane Foster Thor actually had really good sales.
It had all right it had all right sales for a while, but that was more novelty than anything else.
Do you think it's because he was one of the few people that was able to take one of their stupid ideas of replacing the mainline classic hero with a new, more contemporary version, and he didn't like completely shit the bed as far as sales go? So he's some type of like god in Marvel's eyes? Because I don't understand why he keeps getting these big opportunities, because he keeps kind of exposing himself. He's not very talented.
I think it's partially that, and I think the biggest thing is he's the only guy from their last era of talented writers that didn't leave. Remender, Fraction, Hickman, I mean, even Bendis, Miller, Brubaker, everyone else left. except for him.
Maybe there's a reason.
Yeah, because he's the only one that can't get a job
He
elsewhere.
didn't have an opportunity?
Yes. Because everybody else realizes he did okay on Scalped 15 years ago, and he's been riding on that ever since. Everything else he's ever touched has turned to crap.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big fan. We'll see what happens with this Phoenix, Enter the Phoenix story. Obviously, I'm not going to read it. It's in Avengers. I don't read Avengers because it's Jason Aaron. What are you going to do?
Yeah, no, not bothering. I just would like for the Avengers to stop effing up X-Men stuff.
Wow. I'll agree with you there. All right, Doc. Well, that'll basically do it this week in X-Men. X-Force is really cool. A little bit different art, but like the ideas that Ben Percy brings to life for that one with the Russian nesting dolls within these agent weird. They're not human, but they're based off of human. There's some type of manufactured organism based off of humans, and when they die, something grows inside of them, and once you kill one, another one comes up. You think even as they get smaller, they become more dangerous.
Yeah.
I was a cool idea. It was a lot of fun, and I really did like seeing Kid Omega having a great day and just eating it.
Well, I think that it's the equivalent of the question of, would you rather fight 50 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? It's the same thing.
Well, I don't know. There's not like 50 nesting
There's like
dolls coming
50
out.
of
There's
those
just one
weird
of them.
things.
Because
No,
they
there's like
brought all
10
the
of them.
bodies back. You only get one of them out of body. That's why.
Yeah, but then you get a littler one out of that body. No,
Yeah.
that's creepy.
It was a good idea. I liked it a lot. It was a fun issue. Not a big fan. I'm not reading Marauders. You did not like the explanation for Kate Pride and why she couldn't resurrect and likely why she can't enter Krakoa. Pixie or Sprite can't, had to be reminded that she phased and that's her power. Pretty stupid payoff to a really big mystery that Jerry Duggan's been working on for like 6 months now. Not surprised they didn't pull that one off and Enter the Phoenix. Okay.
Yeah.
If you like Jason Aaron, I hope you enjoyed that comic.
And everybody that realizes Jason Aaron is a talentless hack, don't read it.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.